welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with, what do we got for October 30th, good Sir King?
637, Antioch surrendered the Muslim forces under Rashidun Caliphate after the Battle of Iron Bridge during the Arab-Byzantine Wars.
Huh. Alright. And Iron Bridge in 637 would be, quite a landmark there, I believe. I'm not sure. So,
Like,
bridge made fully of iron, like... Oh,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
yeah. What else do we got?
Here in 1270, the Eighth Crusade and siege of Tunis ended by agreement between Charles I of Sicily, brother to King Louis IX of France, who had died months earlier, and the Sultan of Tunis.
The Hafsid dynasty Sultan of Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah. 1340. From two of our sources, I made like a quasi article, so that's why I refer to the script more often than any one of the sources for some things. But 1340, what do we have?
The Battle of Rio Salado, or Tarifa, King Alfonso the Fourth of Portugal and King Alfonso the 11th of Castle defeat Sultan at Abu al-Hassan Ali of Morocco and Yusuf I of Grandia in the last Marindan invasion of Iberian Peninsula.
Yeah. The Iberian Peninsula. That rings a bell, but I need to...
Where is the Iberian Peninsula?
Yeah, let's see here. Iberian Peninsula. Spain. So, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, so remember when the Muslims had Spain and then the Crusades drove them back?
Yeah.
Or something like that? Not really the Crusades, but the Reconquista. Or in Spanish, like reconquering. So this is a Reconquista of Spain from the Muslim forces. Yep. 1503, Queen Isabella of Spain banned violence against Indians in the Americas. I wonder why we never hear about that, though. 1697, Germany signed a French/English/Spanish/Dutch/Brandenburg's peace treaty, ending the 9 Years' War. Good lord, that's a lot of peace treaties right there. 1739, Great Britain declared war on Spain. This is the War of Jenkins' Ear. We spoke about this not too long ago, about how this captain named Jenkins or whatever, during some kind of like port of call or whatever, there was a disagreement and a scuffle, and this guy, his ear got cut off, and then that's what started the war, and it's the War of Jenkins' Ear, that was the final straw. So, yeah, something like that. What do we have here in 1768?
The First Methodist Church in North America colonies initiated Wesley Chapel, New York City.
I wonder if that's even still around, 300 years some odd later. Yeah, so, 17, well, let's just look, Wesley Chapel, New York City. Okay. Auditorium. Well, it looks like the building is still there, maybe. I'm not sure. If anybody could dig into this, let us know if this actual Wesley Chapel, John Street United Methodist Church. Okay, well, this is Methodist, so maybe it's still around under this other name here. I'm gonna say it is still around. By the surface level scratch that I just did here, it looks like it is. What else do we have?
1772, Captain James Cook arrives with the ship HMS Resolution in Cape Town, South Africa.
All right. We all know about James Cook, one of the more famous explorers of the exploration era and all that stuff. We got one more 1700 one here for you.
1784, Napoleon Bonaparte admitted to elite Ecole military at Paris, the start of his military career.
Ooh. So just 20 years, he would become emperor. That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
This guy knows how to move. 1806, during the War of the Fourth Coalition, convinced that he was facing a much larger force, Prussian General Con Romberg, commanding 5,300 men, surrendered the city of Stettin to 800 French soldiers. Whoops.
Oh.
So, 1817, Simon Bolivar became president of the Third Republic of Venezuela. All right, and actually, his full name. Let's see, Simon Bolivar, full name. I don't know why it didn't carry over, but yeah, Simon Bolivar, like he's a renowned. He was the first president of Colombia, and like he has a lot of history in South America, especially Venezuela and everything. But his full name, Simon Jose Antonio de la Santisima Trinidad Bolivar Palacios Ponte y Blanco. What a name! So, then 1831. Nat Turner was arrested for leading the bloodiest slave rebellion in United States history. Oh, and for whatever reason, I put Simon Bolivar's full name on this article, not this one. So that's why I couldn't find it. All right. So yeah, Nat Turner, a name known in history for some bad things, but he was reacting to a bad situation. So, Anyway, what do we got here in 1864?
Treaty of Vienna. Wait. Helena Montana's capital founded. Helena, Montana.
You're gonna. How can you mispronounce Montana? Montania.
Montania. Another night, 1864, Treaty of Vienna signed at the end of the Second Schleswig War. Denmark loses control of Schleswig to Prussia and Holstein to Austria.
Yep.
We
got a bank robbery.
1866, Jesse James gang robs the Lexington, Missouri, getting $2,000. What's that? 2 million?
1866, 2000.
What's that? 20 million? What's that? 20 billion?
$39,660.50 today.
Woo!
Wow. Oh, not close to 2 million, but on the way.
Down payment on a house, I guess.
Yeah, 40,000. Well, I mean, maybe 10 years ago. 1868 here, John Menard of Louisiana became the first black U.S. citizen elected to U.S. Congress. All right. It's pretty cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. 1871, Philadelphia Athletics defeated Chicago for first National Association baseball pennant. Okay. 1873, P.T. Barnum's Circus, the greatest show on earth, debuted in New York City. P.T. Barnum, very known for this whole circus thing. But he's also known for quotes that I can't disagree with. There's a sucker born every minute. This guy was, the poster child for shrewd businessmen. He knew how to price gouge and how to, do all the nasty, dirty tricks, 1886, Great Britain and Germany agreed to boundaries in East Africa. So, their colonies and all that stuff. What do we got here in 1888?
John L. Loud patents. Well, good.
Ooh. All right.
And what?
We have. I think this is off of. Actually, no. This is from main source here. This.
1888. Nabil King Labigula grants Cecil Rhodes Mashonaland $100 per month.
Yeah. It's also known as the Rudd Concession. If anybody wants to know more about that, look up the Rudd Concession. Yeah, well, I'll do a surface level scratch of this really quick. So basically, he's just giving him £100 a month or something. The Rudd concession, a written concession for exclusive mining rights in Metabilan, Mashonaland, and other adjoining territories in what is today's Zimbabwe, was granted by King Lobengula of Matabilan to Charles Rudd, James Rochforth McGuire, and Francis Thompson, 3 agents acting on behalf of the South African-based politician and businessman Cecil Rhodes, on October 30th, 1888. So yeah, basically mining stuff. So giving him money, you know, as maybe a stipend for mining or something. I'm not sure, but yeah. You know, as I said, if anybody wants to look more into this, check out the Rudd concession. We also have 1893. What do we got? Is this it? Hold on a second. This one.
U.S. Senate approves repealing Sherman Silver Purchase Act.
All right.
What is that?
Sherman Silver Purchase Act. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. The measure did not authorize the free and unlimited coinage of silver that the free silver supporters wanted, and increased the amount of silver the government was required to purchase on a recent monthly basis to 4.5 million ounces. The Sherman Silver Purchase Act has been passed in response to the growing complaints of farmers and miners' interests. Farmers had immense debts that could not be paid off due to deflation, and they urged the government to pass the Sherman Silver Purchase Act to boost the economy and cause inflation. Wow. Allowing them to pay their debts with cheaper dollars. Huh. Okay, so it's the economy balancing and all that stuff act.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, I'm going to start, you know, I'm going to add these in the underbar section. So, Rudd concession. Let me add that here. And Silver Purchase Act. Silver Purchase Act. So that way, you know, people can just go to our underbar section and, you know, get started on the various rabbit holes we provide to them. 1890. I don't know why this is after. Wait, what? Okay. Oh, of 1890. Okay. 1894. Daniel Cooper patented the time clock. Huh. So, what were clocks before? Did they not tell time?
Like, I was gonna say. So, what's the difference between a clock and a time clock?
I don't know.
Look up his name and time clock.
All right, Daniel Cooper time clock. Here we go. I was giving you the same links here. Punch in. Yeah.
Punch card.
Okay. So, we both got it at the same time. That was awesome. So, yeah, we're linked, bro. So, 1894 as well, Domenico Miligati obtained a patent for a procedure to be applied in industrial production of Pandoro, a traditional Italian sweet yeast bread. Huh. All right. So, you know, the commercialization of Pandoro. Let's take a look at this. Oh, okay, that looks pretty tasty.
Ooh, that looks yummy.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this. They're getting fancy with it. It's like a Christmas tree.
I like that one that there's just sugar on it.
This one here?
No one to blow. Just blow it. There you go.
Covered, yeah.
Just this one. Full light sugaring. That's good for me. Maybe the one in the middle where it has like the cherry dipping and stuff. You dip it.
Well, I was gonna say, it looks like there's such a variety of ways you can prepare this dessert. This is amazing. You know, like, you know, you bake it in the mold, and then you can, like, you know, you can cut it in sections to make it look like a Christmas tree, or you can, you know, bloom an onion it, essentially, have some dipping things. Mm-hmm. Dude, this is awesome.
Sounds good.
Yeah. 1896, Amy Beach's Gaelic Symphony, debuted by the Boston Symphony Orchestra. The first major work by a U.S. female composer, was received public and journalism acclaim. Awesome. So I gotta listen to this Gaelic Symphony. I'll add this into. I'm gonna search this up on YouTube. Hold on a second. Why is YouTube being a black screen for me? Come on. There we go. So let me look this up, and I'm actually gonna lower the music here because it's a little loud.
It's a little loud.
Yeah. So, okay, so here's your, wow, that's 40 minutes. Okay, well, I'm gonna watch that some later other time. 1903. What do we got here? Where is it? Let me find it for you. Here it is.
In violation of their promise to evacuate Manchuria, the Russian reoccupied Mukden and reinforced their troops in Manchuria.
That's not nice.
That's not very nice.
Yeah.
1905 October Manifesto
Uh-oh.
issued by Russian Tsar Nicholas II, granting the Russian Pope's basic civil liberties and the right to form a Duma parliament, which formed immediately October 17th, the Julian calendar.
Your
On the Julian
your camera's frozen, by the way.
It,
Yeah, you're just sitting there like. What?
Wait.
Yeah. You look good. It's yeah.
Right. Nice.
It's not like it's frozen on like some weird thing like. Or whatever.
I'm not picking my boogers or nothing. It's not stuck right here.
Like, ah.
1917, British government gave final approval to Balfour Declaration.
I'm gonna look.
What is a
here.
Balfour Declaration?
Maybe it comes after Bal 3 Declaration and before Bal 5. It was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people. Oh, God. The creation of Israel as far back as 1917 in Palestine. So they were trying to create a Jewish state in Palestine as far back as 1917. Good Lord. Which was then an Ottoman region with a small minority of Jewish population. The declaration was contained in a letter dated November 2nd, 1917 from the United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to Lord Rothschild. Oh, that name sounds familiar. A leader of the British Jewish community. Oh, gee. The pieces are falling into place. For transmission to the Zionist Federation of Great Britain and Ireland. The text of the declaration, jeez, wow, guys, wow, everything I've been saying right here. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to add this here.
Communist button.
Yeah, should I hit the communist button? Where's the communist button here?
Should I push the communist button?
Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
It's the communist button.
Oh, no.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Stop.
Yeah, this is big here. Wow. So this is essentially, the groundwork to the creation of Israel. As far back as 1917, already talking about shoehorning a bunch of people into a land full of people who hate said people being shoehorned in. Gee, I wonder what the decided outcome was. Anyway, what do we got here in 1918?
Slovakia asked the creation of Slovakia asked for creation of Czechoslovakian state.
Yeah, so like there was, like I might be wrong, but like there was Chechnya and there was Slovakia, and then they wanted to become Czechoslovakia, or I think that was reversed, like, or maybe it's both. I don't know, but they wanted, Czechoslovakia. They wanted to combine, essentially, the Czechs and the Slovenes. Another 18 here.
World War I. Turkey signs an armistice with the Allies, agreeing to end hostilities at noon on the 31st of October.
Now, this is something I did not realize, is that after the what is believed to be the end of World War I, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, apparently we were still fighting the Ottomans, so right here, like, the Ottoman Empire, which is now Turkey, signed the Armistice of Mudros, as you said, with the Allies agreeing to end. So this is when their portion is ending, and this is far after the 11th month. Actually, no, it's not. I'm stupid. We're in the 10th month. Never mind. Reverse everything I said. I'm an idiot. We got it off of main source 1918 here. If you want to check out the script, it starts with
1918 lands of Crown of Saint Stephen, a state union of Kingdom of Hungary and Triune Kingdom of Croatia, Slovenia, and Dalmatia was abolished with decisions of peroration in Hungarian parliaments.
Hmm. And for those out there like Dalmatia, that sounds familiar. Yes, that is where Dalmatians come from. They hail from Dalmatia. That's hence the name, Dalmatians. We got another early 1900s here for you if you want to take 1919.
Baseball League presidents call for abolishment of the spitball.
Yeah.
That's
And
gross.
what is the
Stop spitting on the
spitball?
ball.
Yeah.
It's where you spit on the ball and
And it causes a weight distribution so that way you can like.
Well, no, it causes the bat, the ball to slip off the bat because there's spit on the ball.
Yeah. Well, I hear something thumbering its way down the hall.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Hey, King, how you doing?
I am doing great. How are you, sir? How are
I'm
you?
Doing good. Way better. I may live.
Now,
good. That's good.
Now you may think that his camera's frozen. No, like King here has tapped into telekinesis, and he's talking to us with his mind, and he's somehow like he's found Zen, so he's not moving at all. Like this is a live camera feed. He's transcended to the next
So what
stage.
you're saying is he's become one with the camera.
Yes.
And now I'm going to jail.
Oh yeah, well in England.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Where are we?
We are now gonna actually we're gonna pop into 1920 here, but before that, hey, there he is. He became a normal human again. I want to go back here really quick because we were talking about a certain Middle Eastern nation earlier today during coffee time and everything. 1917, British government gave final approval to the Balfour Declaration.
What's that?
Well, I'll read it to you. The Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine.
Okay.
Which was then an Ottoman reign within a small minority Jewish population. So it was an Ottoman Empire thing. So they were
Jews living there.
With a small minority of Jews.
Yes, of course.
Yes, but still primarily Ottoman Empire.
Yes.
In Palestine, the declaration was contained in a letter dated November 2nd, 1917, from the United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to Lord Rothschild, who the Rothschilds own, Britain's money system. They own our system and all that stuff. Look into the Federal Reserve and all that stuff. A leader of the British Jewish community for transmission to the Zionist Federation of Great Britain and Ireland. So this is Zionist Jews wanting to shoehorn themselves in a land with themselves being a minority that is currently owned by an opposing force during the First World War. Do you not see what's happening?
And the one thing that's left out there is the Ottoman Empire did conquer the Jews, and that's when it became part of the Ottoman Empire.
Well,
so you can keep going back in history. Where do you want to go?
But that's why I'm saying, this is a whole conversation of itself. But Rothschild, Zionism,
there's a lot there to unpack.
If you knew half of what I knew about, all this stuff, you'd be crapping your pants. So. Anyway, let's move on up to 1920 here. The Communist Party of Australia was founded in Sydney.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, yikes. Going from,
you don't want to celebrate that.
Yikes, dude. 1929, the Stuttgart cable car was constructed in Germany.
The what cable car?
The Stuggarts. And I've heard of the Stuttgart. I'm pretty sure that's what they use in San Francisco. Or something like,
Could be.
Or the Stuggarts. Okay. Well, you know what? Let me look this up here. Okay, well, I guess it's just this. I've heard Stuttgart before, but it's these.
The fact is, a cable car. Yeah, it sounds like it could be a design duplicated in San Francisco.
Oh wait, no, it's an incline cable car.
Okay.
Look at the windows.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Okay.
Like
what about
they're it's not an even plane. It's tiered.
Oh, okay.
Because you're going up a hill.
Okay, so then everything is level when it goes up.
Here it is. Yeah, see, you see that?
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what a stuggart is when it's like it's for going up and down an incline, like that.
Okay.
I mean, like, you've heard of the I don't know what they're called, the rotary tracks, like the trains with like a cog and everything, and that's what helps them go up the hill. The cog reel trainways or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So, 1930. What do we got here? Where do we go? Here it is. Oh, Turkey and Greece signed a treaty of friendship. Okay, that's interesting. Turkey and Greece at each other's throats for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1938, a radio broadcast, here we go, of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, narrated by Orson Welles, allegedly, well, not allegedly, it did, cause a mass panic in the United States.
Yeah.
So that was today?
That was today,
awesome.
1938, yeah.
He's the reason we don't know about aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember the other day you brought that up, and I saw this, I'm like, no way.
Yeah, that's weird
That
today.
coincidence, man.
Yeah.
Space-time continuum, timey-wimey stuff. So, but yeah, like, according to reports and everything, there is one circumstance of a guy getting freaked out, and he shot at a water tower thinking it was one of the tripods.
Oh, man.
Now, time out, all right? How do you not know? Like unless you just moved in the day before, how do you not know where the hell your town's water tower is?
Yeah.
But I mean, mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria, man.
We were talking about groupthink earlier today as well.
And they announced before, during, and after the show that it's just
Multiple times.
Yeah, but nobody would listen.
Yeah, because people are stupid, And and then other people wonder, why the world is in such a state today. Gee.
Group panic.
Yeah. Groupthink. So, 1939. This is pretty big.
Speaking of groupthink.
Well, before this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
German U-boat fails attack on English battleship Nelson with Winston Churchill, Dudley Pound, and Charles Forbes aboard.
Ooh, they're on board. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that seems way too much of a coincidence. Churchill and Forbes. I don't know who Dudley Pound was. Maybe the inventor of the pound. But
The Germans had some intel and went with a U-boat to take them out.
Or it sounds like the Germans had some intel and were told to stand down to make sure certain people wouldn't die for the continuation of the plan.
They got attacked, so they didn't stand
No,
down.
they failed to attack.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
They failed to attack. So I have a feeling, because like how I believe there's like the New World Order, the Cabal, the whole thing and all that stuff. Well, maybe they were told, hey, don't hit this boat, because one of our people are there. We don't want them to get hurt, because it's the plan, So, yeah, I put here, what a coincidence, So,
Holy.
yeah. And here we go. Like, we knew this was coming. We saw, actually, like, so much as just a forehead, you know what's coming up. Like, funny mustache man from Austria. What do we got here?
1939, USSR and Germany agreed on partitioning Poland. Adolf Hitler deports Jews.
Yeah. Yep. So, they're agreeing to...
Didn't say to where they deported them,
Well,
does
to
it?
various places, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of that, we will be talking about Anne Frank today.
Oh.
So, yeah. 1940, One Night in the Tropics, first film for Abbott and Costello, premiered in Patterson, New Jersey.
Hey, Abbott.
Yeah.
Who's up
Joyzy.
Good bit that they did. Who's up first?
1941, President Roosevelt approved a $1 billion Lend-Lease aid to the Allied nations, the Lend-Lease program. So,
Yeah.
1941, during the Holocaust, 1,500 Jews from Pidiasti were sent by Nazis to Belzec extermination camp. And when I was writing this from our other source, it's like, I was just thinking, well, of course they were sent by Nazis, but it's just like, wait a minute, no, the Russians were doing their part, in the Holocaust too. A lot of people, don't recognize that. The Soviets, were doing their own extermination of Jews and Gypsies, and they, not as much as Germany, but they, they played their heavy, their heavy hand into it, but we only recognized one versus the other. So, but
well, the Russians had a big, and I forget who it was. It wasn't the Jews. It was like the Armenians or something in their country.
yeah, the Armenian genocide. Yeah.
Which isn't talked about very much, and it should be.
Nope. Well, because the Armenians, so. 1942 as well, during World War II, Lieutenant Tony Fasten and able seaman Colin Grazier were drowned while taking code books from the sinking German submarine U-559. That sucks. They couldn't get out in time. So. And here we go. As I promised earlier, what do we got here?
1944, Anne Frank is deported from Auschwitz to Belsen.
Yep. Now, I have some more meat on the bone, so to speak, from the other source, Anne Frank and Margaret Frank. So I think her mom or something.
I don't know who Margaret Frank is.
Well, it has to, obviously the Frank family.
Could be his sister.
They were both deported from Auschwitz to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, and, I'm very familiar with Bergen-Belsen from, I remember Weekend Wanderings with that guy with the awesome voice. Mr.
Oh, yeah.
We spoke about the hare hunt. That was at Bergen-Belsen. Which Anne Frank might have actually participated in. So anyway, Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, where they unfortunately met their end from disease a year later, shortly prior to the end of World War II. So they almost made it through. Almost. A real tragedy. And now everybody reads the diary, the personal words of a young lady, in the name of history.
I know.
It's still her diary. I to this day I've never read it.
They stole her diary and made money off it.
Yeah. That's the worst nightmare, Well, we have another Holocaust one here in 44.
The 1944 last transport of Auschwitz arrives in Birkenau.
Yeah. So Birkenau, Bergen-Belsen, I think, are two different places. I'm not sure. But yeah. But, silver lining the black cloud, this was the last transport. So,
yeah. That part is at least good.
Thank God it's over. So.
Will be soon, anyway.
Well, yeah, soon. 1944 as well, Sweden announced intention to stay neutral and refuse sanctuary in World War II. That's kind of shitty right there,
Well, they were neutral for the whole war. I wonder why they're announcing it then. That's towards the end of the war.
Well, because they didn't want refugees.
Yeah.
They just wanted to just
leave us alone.
There's a whole thing around, Switzerland, not Switzerland, Sweden, and all that stuff. Being the home base for the New World Order and all that stuff, and we'll get to that in a minute here. 1945, U.S. government announced end of shoe rationing. I did not realize we had rationed shoes.
I had no idea.
Of all things.
Huh. No idea we had that.
Yeah. But then in 1947, as I was saying, about the whole thing, with Sweden being, the safe haven, the sanctuary state for the globalists, elitists, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
1947, 23 countries signed General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, the GATT agreement, the foundation of the World Trade Organization, WTO, in Geneva, Switzerland. Gee.
Well, today it's still the headquarters.
Well, yeah. Gee, I wonder why. And they that's where, the Vatican, there's Swiss Guard and all that stuff. There's so much, connections between Switzerland and, the shadow government, the Illuminati, the New World Order, whatever it is you want to talk about, the big club, as George Carlin calls it.
Yeah.
It's in your
The
face.
big club.
Yeah.
And you and I ain't in it.
Yep.
And quite frankly, it's just opinion of mine, but we are the biggest country to be standing in the way of that New World Order, which I hope we continue to do, but you never know.
We're not standing in the way of it at all.
We're
the biggest club. So we're the biggest weapon, in it. But yeah, we're the strongest that could stand in their way, is what you're saying.
And I hope we will.
We will one day. Nothing lasts forever. 1948. What do we got here?
20 die and 6,000 made ill by smog. Donero, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Smog.
20. I'm going to say to repeat that. 20 people died and 6,000 made ill in America. Here in America, made by smog in Pennsylvania.
It's got to be
in America.
In Pennsylvania, is it?
Yeah, Donora, Pennsylvania specifically. Well, I mean, is it close to Pittsburgh? You know, because Pittsburgh used to be an industrial powerhouse.
In the 50s, somewhere around that time.
Oh, look it up. Like, look up the instant.
See brown skies, you know?
Yeah.
In L.A. Oh, that's smog.
Smog innocence in it.
Yeah, isn't Pittsburgh somewhere around here on the western side?
It's inland somewhere, yeah.
There you go. This town was the scene of infamous diurnal smog of 1948 between October 26th and 31st. There you go.
That had to be some nasty stuff, huh?
An air inversion trapped industrial effluent air pollution from the American steel and wire plants and Donora Zinc Works. Yikes! So the weather created a pocket of immovable air to just it hang timed, you know, it just stayed there.
Yep.
So
and pressed it down.
Yikes, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, after the inversion lifted, another 50 people died.
Jeez.
Wow. Oh, including Lucas Musial.
Hundreds of more. Yeah, keep going.
The father of baseball great Stan Musial. So,
oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, keep going.
Hundreds more finished the rest of their lives with damaged lungs and hearts. The incident made national headlines today. The town is home of the Donora Smog Museum, which tells the impact of the Donora smog on the air quality standards enacted by the federal government in subsequent years. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There's a museum. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Never heard of that. Oh,
well, that's
man.
why we do the show.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Donora's neighborhood known as Cement City. And I thought that was Tucson.
That's crazy.
But see, do you know the origins of the word smog? And I actually learned this from Hollywood Squares.
Well, I just heard. I just always assumed it was a combination of
fog
smog
and
pollutants.
Well, smoke and fog.
Yeah, there you go. Smog.
Smoke and fog.
But see, what's interesting is that smog, smoke, and fog. Well, what if it was fog and smoke? Would we have folk? Like who decided on smog versus folk?
Actually, I think what I understand it was the development of a guy that was doing. No, excuse me, I'm in the wrong track here. That's traffic jams.
Oh,
smog. What do you call alerts? What are those called?
Smog alerts?
Not smog alerts. What's a
the kidnapping children?
No. When there's a traffic jam. Oh, God, what's it called?
Pileup?
Well, yeah, I'm off track here. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm completely lost.
I guess let's keep on track here.
Sig alert.
Sig alert. Oh, okay.
And he was the guy that was doing traffic and weather on the radio in L.A.
Okay.
And he started giving sig alerts. In the
I remember sig alert.
Anyways, I'm way off track on smog.
Yeah.
Hey.
We have one more 40 here, and it'll take us into the 50s.
All right, 1948, Operation Harem. Israelis take control of Galilee.
Yeah.
Galilee.
Yep.
Galilee.
Yep. Taken over. 1950, Pope Pius XII witnessed the miracle of the sun while at the Vatican. What is this miracle of the sun? Because we've spoken about this oftentimes, on the show and everything. Also known as the miracle of Fatima, is a series of events reported to have occurred miraculously on October 13th, 1917, attended by a large crowd who had gathered in Fatima, Portugal. So he's essentially looking back in time, it sounds like. So this was something in 1917. A lot of people witnessed, I believe, I'll just read. Attended by a large crowd who gathered in Fatima, Portugal, in response to a prophecy made by 3 shepherd children, Lucia Santos and Francisco and Jacinta Marto. The prophecy was that the Virgin Mary, referred to as Our Lady of Fatima, would appear and perform miracles on that date. Newspapers published testimony from witnesses who said they had seen extraordinary solar activity, such as the sun appearing to dance or zigzag in the sky, advance towards the earth, or emit multicolored light in radiant colors. According to these reports, the events lasted approximately 10 minutes. So Pope Pius is saying he witnessed something like that. Well, aren't there a lot of things happening with we have 2 suns now, we have 2 moons, there's a lot of weird things. You've seen some of that stuff, right, King? Like, all these weird videos and conspiratorial things and whatnot. So,
Yeah. Sure.
1952, Clarence Birdseye sold the first frozen peas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, the pea.
Before that, everything was fresh and all that stuff. The idea of like frozen, and nowadays we have the microwavable, bags and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And really made them prominent. And I can't remember the woman's name.
Yeah.
The same one that built Mar-a-Lago down in Florida came
Yeah.
in and bought him out, and of course the rest is history with Birdseye.
Yeah, like she's the one who brought in because he sold the frozen stuff, but she brought in like flash freezing, or what was her major?
No, his thing was flash freezing. She just
Okay.
came in and bought the company, and freezers weren't prominent in stores, or certainly not in houses.
Yeah.
But he had this frozen food, but nobody could keep it frozen.
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of like the elevator shaft being invented before the elevator, which
Yeah.
did happen. So
Which did happen.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, no, the first elevator shaft was because whoever invented it, like I forgot the guy's name, but he knew it was inevitable
So he put it in. Okay.
well, because like you look at New York, you can't build out, you have to build up.
yeah.
And how many flights of stairs will people willingly climb? Eventually, a lift will have to be made. So he create like he when he was building his building
Made a
or whatever,
space for the elevator.
he put in
himself,
the
too.
elevator shaft, which was more of a round one rather than square that we know, knowing that eventually something would occupy it.
Wow.
There is a square elevator now
That's
operating.
awesome.
Yeah, so the elevator shaft was invented before.
They didn't want to put it in because of like, oh, holy shit, someone could just plummet to the earth, and he's like, no, watch this. Took it to the top because he knew it has an automatic safety feature that automatically just boom,
Yeah.
every time locks.
Braking system.
So he rode up to the top and was like, cheerio, I'm going to the bottom. Whee! Rah! Lock.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Kind of like a better alternative to how the inventor of the parachute demonstrated his invention. He jumped off the Eiffel Tower and broke
Wow.
both of his legs.
Jeez.
Yeah, that didn't turn out so well for him.
Yeah. 1953, President Eisenhower approved the top secret document NSC 162/2 concerning the maintenance of a strong nuclear deterrent force against the Soviet Union. Well, gee, all that does is build up, a Cold War.
Yeah.
So, yeah. 1954, what do we got here? Oh, what happened?
Do you know that?
Yeah, that helps me with my layout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You go.
1954, we have the first use of 24-second shot clock in pro
Oh,
basketball.
yeah.
Rochester versus Boston. All right.
Boston.
In 54, that's kind of cool. Of course, now that's standard. They have a 24-second clock.
Yeah.
That keeps the game faster moving.
Mm-hmm.
Push it up the floor.
1954 as well. We have the U.S. Defense Department announced elimination of all racially segregated regiments. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... 1955, businessman and horse breeder William Woodward Jr. was shot dead by his wife, Anne Cromwell, after she mistook him for an intruder. Well, that makes me wonder, if she caught him cheating on her with a horse.
I was trying to tie it somewhere, and you did.
Mm-hmm. Well, you need a screwed up mind to come up with screwed up,
Yeah. Well, I was
ideas.
thinking, why are they mentioning horse and being killed? So you put it together.
Well, I was just like, was he riding the horse the wrong way? Yikes. 1956, Dodgers sold Ebbets Field to a real estate group. They agreed to stay until 1959 with an option to stay until 61.
Which they didn't because they came to L.A. Oh,
Yeah.
go Dodgers!
Yeah.
In the World
No,
Series.
they followed Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Dodgers won, right?
No, they're up 3-1.
Okay. So they're winning.
They're winning.
Oh. We also have 1956. During the Hungarian Revolution, the government of Amir Nagy recognized newly established Revolutionary Workers' Councils. Army officer Béla Kirale led anti-Soviet militias in an attack on the headquarters of the Hungarian Working People's Party. All right. 1960. What do we have here?
Guatemala and La Hora reports plans for invasion on Cuba.
All right. Oh, this one's
1960, Michael Woodruff performs the first successful kidney transplant in the United Kingdom in Edinburgh Royal Infirmary.
all right. Kidney transplant.
Yeah.
Pretty big,
That's
Excellent.
huge.
especially for alcoholics.
Yeah.
You know. So. Here we go.
1961, Soviet Party of Congress unanimously approves a resolution removing Stalin's body from Lenin's tomb in Red Square as part of the Stalinization efforts.
De-Stalinization. Yeah.
De-Stalinization.
Yeah.
Now, I have some more meat on the script here. It says, due to violations of Vladimir Lenin's precepts, so, maybe his will or whatever. Basically, Joseph Stalin shared the room with Vladimir Lenin in the tomb. And they removed Stalin from the tomb, because due to violations of Vladimir Lenin's precepts, Soviet Party Congress unanimously approved a resolution removing Stalin's body from Lenin's tomb in Red Square as part of de-Stalinization efforts. Then they buried Stalin near the Kremlin wall with a plain granite marker.
Well, yeah. See, Lenin didn't want any idolization of his former boss, so that's why they were trying.
No. Lenin was a former boss. Lenin came first. He didn't want Stalin because he knew about what Stalin would do. That's why.
Oh, okay.
No, that's why the whole general secretary. It was supposed to be a nothing position. That's why he gave Stalin that position.
Yeah.
Just to have him have. But
Yes.
Stalin had the power of as general secretary to schedule people. So
everything in the government had to go through him.
Yes.
And he manipulated into a lot of power.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after Lenin died,
That's right.
he
Okay.
got Stalin got rid of Leninist, Trotskyist, and all that stuff.
Yep.
Made Stalin,
Yep.
and then afterwards they reverted and they went back to Leninist, because Stalin was dead.
Yeah.
So and then they put him, by the wall with an unmarked grave, essentially.
Yeah.
So basically
Okay,
a giant middle finger.
You're right.
Yeah. Here we go. Now this one raises an eyebrow here. You want to take it?
The 1961 Soviet Union tests a 58 megaton hydrogen bomb named Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated.
Yeah, well, the Tsar Bomba, it was designed to have a 100 megaton thing. Now, up until I saw this, I've always believed it was 50. Now it's saying 58. Now, the reason why it was 50, because as I said, it was designed to be 100, but they cut it in half because they believed that the 100, megaton would be so destructive it would actually rip a hole in the ozone layer and then cook the Earth. So that's why they cut it down to 50. But now they're saying 58. This is the first time in my entire life I've ever seen it as 58. I thought it was 50. But, what's 8 more megatons between?
50 with a typo there. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, 1963, Sandy Koufax won National League MVP award.
Hold on. You got to pronounce it right.
Koufax.
Sandy Koufax.
Koufax, sorry.
Koufax.
Greatest left-hander of all time, I'm sorry to say.
Well, then I guess I just left-handed the pronunciation. Yeah. 1965, British model Jean Shrimpton caused a sensation at Derby Day at the Melbourne races, wearing a white shift dress 4 inches above the knee. Oh, good heavens.
Oh, scandalous.
1965 as well, fireworks explosions killed 50 in Cartagena, Colombia. Yikes. Fireworks. Just,
Jeez, that's a lot of fireworks.
Yeah. What do we got here? 1967, USSR. Is this one here?
USSR Cosmo 186 and 188 make first automatic docking at Venmira 13 launch.
All right. So the first automatic docking. So there's manual. Well, in space, you're linking up and
Docking,
everything.
yeah.
And this is the first time they just let the computers do it. First automatic.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I get it.
So testing out the
Yeah.
capabilities of machines and everything.
Here.
We got another. We got a 68 here.
Jack Lynch, Irish Prime Minister. Kyle Search meets with Harold Wilson. Then Brian.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Then British Prime Minister.
Yay!
And London calling for the ending of partition as a means to resolve the unrest in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, during the Troubles. Yeah. You know, just let Ireland be free. You know?
Nope.
Un Moss, 60s here, off of main source on the script here.
Hold on. Script 1960. What?
A squad.
8. A squad of 120 North Korean Army commandos landed in a boat along the 25-mile-long section of eastern South Korea in a failed attempt to overthrow the dictatorship of Park Chung-hee and bring about reunification of Korea.
Yeah, so a North Korean covert ops tried to go down and kill the leader of South Korea.
Yeah.
That's
Never
crazy.
heard of that.
Yeah, and he was, not a good guy, right? Park Chung-hee or whatever, South Korea has not had,
Potato.
Yeah. No. 1970.
South Korea, North Korea.
Yeah, well, there's been several South Korean leaders who were not really that good. But
I know very, very little about the history of South Korean leaders. Very little, if anything.
Same.
Park Chung-hee. Let's just look this guy up here really quick. Park Chung-hee was a South Korean politician and army officer who served as the third president of South Korea from 1962 until his assassination in 1979. After he seized power in the May 16 coup of 1961, he's regarded as one of the most consequential leaders in Korean history, although his legacy as a military dictator continues to cause controversy. So we allied with a military dictator in a war against communism.
Yeah.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Pulled off a coup.
Yeah, same thing, with Vietnam, with not Ho Chi Minh, but who is the not Kim Il Sung? No, that's freaking North Korea.
Yeah. What are you talking about? China's?
No, South Korea. Who is the leader of South Korea
today?
No. There is no South Korea today. No, not Korea. Fucking Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam. Yeah.
No. There is no South Vietnam today.
No.
Who are we allied with during the Vietnam War? There's Ho Chi Minh from the top, but then
I don't remember his name.
Whatever.
Yeah. He was the president of South Korea.
But he, I know. Let's move on up here to 1970. There were serious riots in the Catholic Ardeon area of Belfast, which lasted for 3 nights. 72 loyalist paramilitaries carried out a raid on Royal Ulster Constabulary Station in County Derry, stealing 4 British Army Sterling submachine guns. So just once again during the Troubles, Irish, they would be considered terrorists today, by what they did. So we also have the Northern Ireland office issued a discussion document, The Future of Northern Ireland. The paper stated Britain's commitment to the Union as long as the majority of people wish to remain part of the United Kingdom. Which if you have a people under duress, of course they'll want to stay. They don't have a voice. Just let Ireland be free. What do we got here in 73 here, good Sir King?
Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul, Turkey is completed, connecting the continents of Europe and Asia over the Bosphorus for the first time in history.
Now, my other source says the second time. So, but whatever the case, it's it's a major thoroughfare linking 2 continents.
Yeah.
This is a massive thing here. Ooh, here we go. 74. Where is it? Here we go.
Muhammad Ali KO's George Foreman in the 8th round in the Rumble in the Jungle. In Kinshasa, regaining the world heavyweight boxing title. Famous for the rope-a-dope tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big stink about that the Ali camp put something in his water bucket or whatever they use next to him, and he got drugged. Foreman got drugged.
Huh.
That's all
Oh,
hearsay,
boy.
but that's
Well-
the thought of the rumble in the jungle.
Maybe that's what he means by rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is dope in there, so I don't know. It's Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, two big names where you can't really put one over the other. They're both awesome. 1974 as well. I don't know. Oh, they moved it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a horror film, premiered in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
Yeah. And we also have California Angel Nolan Ryan threw the fastest recorded pitch at 100.9 miles per hour. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, for context, go out there, find some abandoned road, and try to hit 100 miles per hour. Now imagine throwing a baseball that fast.
Yeah.
That's Nolan
Right.
Ryan.
Yeah.
You say the Speedball and everything.
Yeah.
This guy, his picture, he's so fast. Even his hat is like woo.
He threw major heat. Now here's the irony here. They're talking about when he was with the California Angels. Previous to that, he was with the Texas Rangers. So they're talking about the Angels, and he has a Texas Ranger hat on.
Oh yeah. And 1974 as well, Catfish Hunter was named AL Cy Young Award.
Yeah, another great pitcher, Catfish.
Now, see, he chose, with that name, he chose a weird profession. Like, he would have been better as a fisherman. Catfish hunter, he hunts catfish. What a perfect name for that. Anyway, what do we got here in 75? If I can find it here, it's not in here. It's this one, but there's a lot more to it, so I'll read it from the script. Prince Juan Carlos I of Spain became acting head of state, taking over for the country's ailing dictator, General Francisco Franco.
Ah.
So Franco, is on the downhill, so
Yeah.
kind of like what Fidel did later on. So I guess Fidel copied Franco here, but he's relinquishing power. So,
Well, Fidel, nothing the same. Fidel came in and attacked Cuba. He's a Cuban.
yeah,
And took over.
that's
with his
exactly
army.
what Francisco Franco did. He led the civil war in Spain and took over.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we were talking about this
I'm reading
earlier.
it when he was ill. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is when he's ill. So
I thought he did it peacefully.
No. Francisco Franco worked with Hitler during World War II. Like we were
No,
just
I know that.
Yeah. No, but this is when he surrendered power.
Okay.
So, very much like how, as I said, Fidel Castro later on surrendered power to Raúl.
Oh, well, no, Raúl was much later. That's his brother.
I think you're confused.
I'm confused with
Okay.
what you're saying.
Okay.
Go ahead, move on. Let's move
Okay, 77. What do we got here?
Panama 747 SP lands after polar flight around the Earth in record 54 hours and 7 hours?
Minutes.
Or minutes?
Or maybe 54 minutes and 7 seconds. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because around the world, the polar flight around the Earth. Oh, okay. So
74 hours.
okay, so 54 hours. They're going around the Earth
Right.
this way instead of this way.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. 78. This one.
Give me a few years.
All right. Laura Nickel and Kurt Knoll found the 20th Mersenne prime, 2 to the power of 2,107 minus 1. Okay.
To one.
To
Mine, not
one.
one,
To
so
one. To one.
Yeah. So that's a prime number, I guess. Is
Okay.
that it?
Or the prime of it.
Yeah. It's way above my head.
Me
I don't
too.
know.
I don't know, but that's cool.
That sounds awesome.
79, Tamala Motown released Stevie Wonder's documentary film soundtrack Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
1980, Honduras and El Salvador agreed to put the border dispute before the International Court of Justice, eventually to sign a peace treaty ending the football war. So there was a border war known as the football war. Let's look this up here. Football war, 1980. 1980. Because I think it had something to do over a game of football. Yeah. Also known as the Soccer War or the 100-Hour War, was a brief military conflict fought between El Salvador and Honduras in 1969. Existing tensions between the two countries coincided with rioting during the 1970 FIFA World Cup qualifier. The war began on July 14, 1969, when the Salvadorian military launched an attack against Honduras. The Organization of American States, OAS, negotiated a ceasefire on the night of July 18th, hence its nickname. Salvadorian troops were withdrawn in early August. So it wasn't involving football, but it coincided with a football event and everything, so hence its name. But still, like... 1982, Portugal revised its constitution. Okay, it's pretty cool. 83, what do we got here? Your mic. Oh, you're talking to somebody. Oh, are you talking to us, or...?
No, I'm talking to you.
Mike again. Is this really happening? Is this really happening? Is this really happening? Is this really fucking happening? Oh my
There you
god!
go. We're all professionals here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what do we got?
1983, the first democratic elections are held in Argentina after 7 years of military rule.
All
Wow.
right.
That's a good
Nice.
date.
Yeah. Oh, we got it off of main source here on the script.
1988, off source.
83 on the scripts.
Script.
A couple of them, actually.
84. Going.
83, magnitude.
83, magnitude 6.6 earthquake in the Turkish province of Erzurum, and cars left approximately 1,340 people dead.
Yikes.
Oh, 6.6, that's just huge.
That's pretty big. Oh. 1986 here.
Discovery moved off the OPF, where more than 200 modifications were made.
Ooh.
What was?
What are the modifications here? Oh, okay, well, it's just
What
going
is
to tell us.
OPF?
What's OPF? Yeah.
What is OPF? NASA. Let's see here. Orbiter Processing Facility. So they're fitting the shuttle for its mission to launch.
Yeah.
So 200 modifications were made on the craft for whatever mission it was going to do. So, yeah. 87.
In Japan, NAC releases the first 16-bit home entertainment system, the TurboGrafx 16, known as PC Engine.
Ooh. Let's take a look at what this thing looked like. Oh, okay. So it's like a little console-looking thing. All right.
Yeah,
Oh, home
looks
entertainment
like an
system.
Activision or a ColecoVision or
Yeah.
Atari.
Yeah.
Huh. TurboGrafx. So it was its own console.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Pretty cool.
Especially for the, what, 87?
87, yeah. Well, I mean, like, you know, the Atari 2600 was out, you know, SNES. I think Sega
Atari
was
out by then?
Atari
87?
was one of the first.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it was all, okay.
When
I don't know my dates.
86 was Nintendo.
86 was then. Atari 2600, let's see here. Came out 77. North America.
77?
77, yes.
Wow.
No, Atari was one of the first. No.
Yeah, I know that.
So, yeah, no, gaming started in the 70s. I mean, it was mid-70s. There was the E.T. thing. Like, the gaming industry was still relatively new, and then E.T. video game came out and damn near killed the entire industry because of how awful it was. They literally had to bury, like, tens of thousands of unsold copies in the desert.
I remember that.
And
yeah.
that was like an urban, you know, urban legend until, like,
It was an urban
2005, where some construction company for building houses...
And then out of nowhere, like,
yeah, they
all
found
those
it.
tapes. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't
They found
remember
what?
the incident, but I remember seeing it years later. being reported. You know.
Yeah, well,
We're
like,
talking about it.
well,
yeah.
like up until they actually found the dump site, it was believed that was just something made up to embellish how bad it was. But no, it was real. It was so bad they just buried it in the desert. You know.
It was real. I was there.
Yeah, you were. I was not. Yes.
No, you weren't.
No. So. 1988 here, we have 2 gambling clubs and 1 player shared a $61.38 million California Lotto jackpot. Well, that's interesting. Gambling clubs. So, obviously, I think those are illegal these days. You know, but like, what's stopping a group of people, like, you know, just outside of an office, outside of work, people, like, you know, like, what's stopping us, you know, you and I, you know, King, from, like, you know, like, I put in $1, you put in $1, and then, like, you know, like, would we be, like, an interstate gambling club in that way, you know, in regards to lottery?
Well,
everything?
you'd have to have lottery permits and everything. The government's going to be involved because they want their take. You just can't start something.
What do you mean they want their take? They already get their take with the taxes you get.
Not enough.
Never
They
enough.
want more.
Yeah. 1988 as well. New York Jets finally defeated Pittsburgh Steelers for the first time. All right. And then 89, Smith Dairy at Orville, Ohio made the largest milkshake, 1,575.2 gallons.
Oh.
I wonder if that record has been broken or something. But let me look up this entire article
I
really
want to see
quick.
the straw for that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's plastic. So, well, we don't have a picture of it, unfortunately. So, Smith Dairy makes largest. Okay, well, this is just telling me this is another history source. So, well, we're not gonna find a picture of that, unfortunately. But what do we have here in 1990? Ooh, this is big.
France complete the channel under the English Channel.
Yeah, the Channel Tunnel. You know, hence its name, Channel. So that's that's
Repeat that. The French?
English and France.
Oh,
Britain and
okay,
France. Well, you know, Britain came in from the British
one
side,
end, then
France,
the other.
and then they actually met in the middle. So
The big joke was that they're going to miss.
yeah, well they didn't. But actually, hold on a second. Completion of. I'm trying to find the actual like moments. Here it is, where they broke through. So here we go.
By breaking through the wall between the British and French sides of the tunnel. They're through! They're through! They're through!
Yeah.
There's the handshake we've all been waiting
Like
for.
people don't realize
Flag of
this is
Mission
monumental.
Oh, huge.
Like 26 miles or whatever.
The French
however
Transport
long.
Minister and
But
assembled
it's linking,
VIPs
you know,
applauded
Britain to
as the two
France.
tunnelers exchanged national
You know?
flags. Watched by a large
This is
crowd at the
amazing.
surface.
Awesome piece of you know, like what humans can do if we just work together is beyond comprehension. You know. Anyway, 1991. Well, the script has more meat if you want to read from there.
I'm sorry, give me a minute. here.
Middle East peace conference involving the Palestinian-Israeli conflict began in Madrid, Spain, in an effort to revive peace negotiations between Israel and Palestine. So more of this. On the anniversary, no less, of you know, when the Rothschilds were trying to, you know, do their Zionist stuff and all that. Interesting. 1992, MTA began installing automated fare collection turnstiles with the Metro Transit Authority, I believe. So.
Yeah.
1993, Toronto Maple Leafs lost their first game of the season after going 10-0-0. Wow. So 10 wins, no ties, no losses, and then they got a loss.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta say, withered and died. I mean, you know, it is fall. Maple Leafs don't really last this long, you know.
That's hockey for you.
Yeah. 1994, leftist coalition won Macedonian parliamentary election. Explains why Greece is in such economic dire straits. 1994, Thomas Nicely reported a bug in Intel's Pentium processor on the internet.
Whoa.
And so that's big, right? Did you report it on the internet? Like, hey, there's a bug here, you know, on, you know, the internet, which started as ARPANET, which was a construct of the U.S., you know, military. The internet is a product of our armed forces.
Well, a lot of stuff comes out of the.
Oh yeah, refrigeration, aircraft, space, you know, everything.
A lot of stuff.
You know, penicillin. So, 1995, Quebec voted in a referendum to remain part of Canada, with 50.58% yay and 49.42% nay of remaining a province of Canada in their second referendum on national sovereignty. So that was close.
Well, as a kid going up to Canada, I can speak on behalf of my aunt.
Of your people?
Of my aunt, who has long since passed.
Rest in peace.
She was so pissed off that they had cereal boxes, English on one side, French on the other.
Well,
of course, this is Western Canada, Vancouver, where it was all English.
Well, we have the same problem, but instead of French, it's Spanish.
Yeah.
So
And she was not happy with that.
I ain't happy with it either. We need a national language. 1996, Exxon confirmed that it is in talks with state-owned Qatar General Petroleum Corporation concerning the application of new technology to convert natural gas to petroleum products. I do not like this. Like these big mega corporations making these kind of decisions is not for us. 1997, Shirley Allen, 51, held Illinois police off for 39 days, captured. Was she besieged or something? What is
no
this?
idea.
Robbie standoff. Let's look this up here really quick. Ruby Ridge? Is this Ruby Ridge?
I've heard of a Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, I
don't
have
know
too.
In what context, but I've heard
Well,
of
it's not a good thing.
No.
Was a standoff that occurred over the course of 39 days from September 22nd till October 31st, 1997, so Halloween, involving law enforcement and Shirley Allen, a 51-year-old woman resisting involuntary commitment. It is one of the longest single-person standoffs in history, and was the longest standoff in the history of the Illinois State Police. The standoff was the subject of a minor media circus in the late 1997, and Allen was supported by libertarians and the American militia movement, some of whom traveled to Roby to support her. The only casualty in the standoff was a police dog that was shot and wounded by Allen. Okay? So, I've heard of Roby Ridge, but not Ruby Ridge, so I'm going to add this here, Roby Ridge. So, for anybody who wants to look more into this, it's going to be in the underwear section. 2002, we're in the home stretch here, people. British Digital Terrestrial Television, DTT, service Freeview began transmitting in parts of the United Kingdom. All right, so, digital, whatever, transmitting. We also have Run DMC founding member Jam Master Jay was shot and killed in this recording studio in New York City by a drug dealer. Yikes. I've heard of Run DMC.
Yeah.
2003, Stephen Schwartz's musical Wicked, a retelling of The Wizard of Oz from the Wicked Witches of the West perspective, starring Idina Menzel and Christian Chenoweth, opened at the Gershwin Theater in New York City. The run is ongoing, and it has so far won 2 Tony Awards, 7 Drama Desk Awards, and a Grammy.
There you go.
So, yeah. Now, do not watch the new Wicked movie. It is total woke fest crap.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's garbage. 2005, the rebuilt Dresden Fraudenkirche, which was destroyed in the firebombing of Dresden during World War II, was reconsecrated after a 13-year rebuilding project. Okay, well, what is this? Fraudenkirche. I have no idea what that... I'm aware of the Dresden bombing. It was a church thing. Oh, this thing. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Man. I got to go to Dresden. I got to check that out one day.
The architect during different eras was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now, they're all over Europe. They're tearing down churches and putting in mosques. They're not doing anything to synagogues, though. Gee, I wonder. 2012, Walt Disney purchased Lucasfilm Limited and its rights to Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises for $4.05 billion.
Let's just have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
The day Star Wars died.
Yep. No, the moment, the instant milliseconds that Disney owned it, I disavowed anything
we
Star
saw
Wars.
a number of them, but they were just...
Well, they're crap.
Simultaneously,
Yeah.
we said that. Okay,
Just icing on the cake. Total trash. The only thing that they had going for them was The Mandalorian, but I will never watch that because it's Disney. 2014, Sweden became the first European Union member to officially recognize the state of Palestine. Oh yeah, look at that. So, Sweden recognizing Palestine.
Okay.
All right. About time somebody did. 2016, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake hit central Italy, the strongest in Italy for 36 years.
Boy, another 6.6. That's
Yeah.
odd. Same.
Yeah. I wonder if it was 6.66. You know, the number of the beast.
Oh, there you go.
So, well, it was 36 years, and 3 is derived by 6, and there is 6 right there. So, 2016 as well. Well, 2016. There you go. There it is. Right there. Right, we have it right there. 666. You know? And they're almost equally spaced, too, between the space and the decimal. Anyway, 2016 as well. Canada and the EU signed free trade deal after opposition by Belgium. Okay. Wonder why Belgium had
I don't know.
any qualms about Canada and the European Union doing trade. But
Something going on there.
yeah. We also have Oakland Raiders broke the single game record for most penalties in an NFL game, gaining 23 in their win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they won anyway, but 23 penalties. That sounds like a
All
lot.
I can say is the Raiders stay in Vegas. Do not come back to LA.
Yeah, no, you know, now they're in Vegas, they can stay in Vegas. No. But the Raiders really are the doorknob of the sports team. So everybody gets a turn. 2018, a German ex-nurse, Niels Hogel, admitted in court to killing over 100 patients, making him one of the world's worst serial killers.
Oh, man.
Jeez, man.
Oh, man. Oh,
Yikes. Yeah. We also have U.S. Pentagon sent 5,200 troops to Mexican border in advance of migrant caravan from Central America. You know, and that was during a certain orange man's, you know, presidency. And as soon as he was overthrown, you know, and everything was taken out from under him and stolen, you know, look at what happened.
Yeah.
The World Wildlife Federation Conservation Group said, quote, exploding human consumption, end quote, had caused a 60% decline in all wildlife between 1970 and 2014. Well, you know, it's not from the Western world. We're not out there, you know, killing and eating every, you know, friggin' whale and bird and insect that we can find, but the Chinese are.
Just the explosion of population.
Yeah.
The population of humanity is going to cause a lot of that.
Yep. Let's see if we have any comments. We do not. So, 2019, Kashmir officially lost their autonomous status, their flag, and their constitution as India brought it under federal control. So, opposition to, you know, independence, they got eaten.
China is still fighting with them over Kashmir.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah. Maybe it was for the best, you know, Kashmir getting taken over by India versus China, but they're still getting taken over.
They're still independent.
That'd be nice, but they couldn't stand alone against China.
No, or India.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's, you know, but the lesser of two evils is still an evil, you know. No. I wonder, like, why isn't the U.S. Army going over there? You know, maybe because they don't have any oil. Gee, You know, our
nice sweaters though.
Our humanitarian efforts just simply fall short. You know, when there's no money in it for the elites. 2019, Twitter head Jack Dorsey announced it would no longer take political ads. How long?
Again?
Twitter head.
Twitter. Oh, okay.
Oh, he was the tech entrepreneur,
tech
entrepreneur and co-founder. So he created it with some other guy, or whatever, or girl, or whoever.
And
like,
I'll give him kudos.
Yeah, well,
did a good job.
Yeah, I don't know. Twitter is, you know, further degradation towards the human, you know, society. By condensing our thoughts into small bits, we're encouraging the stupefication. You know, like, instead of talking eloquently, we just go ooga booga. You know, like, you know, no. Twitter is a destructive thing. It always has been. Pardon me, and it always will be. So, 2020, you know, our last 4 years here. Can you imagine this was just 4 years ago? A 7.0 magnitude earthquake in the Aegean Sea killed at least 64 people in Turkish city of Izmir and Greek island of Samos.
Ooh,
so another
7.
Turkish.
Wow.
That's 7, yeah.
That's really big. I wonder how many fish it killed.
Well, I don't know.
No.
Fish? What the?
Well, it's in the sea.
Well, but they're not living on the ocean floor. I mean, I wonder how many.
No, but I mean, you know, it's still.
Crab lives matter. Think of the crustaceans. Think of the sea
Let's
urchins.
start a website. Crab Lives Matter.
Yeah. 2020 new DNA study of dogs suggested they were humans' first domesticated animal 11,000 years ago at the end of the Bronze Age.
Ooh,
While hunting,
wow.
and all that stuff, companionship, and all that, but
Yeah.
And as I've said before, I'm not sure when the last time I mentioned this, if at all, during one of the shows, but you know how dogs today, they have eyebrows,
Yeah.
That dogs literally evolved, because if you look at wolves and other feral breeds of canines and everything, they do not have eyebrow muscles and all that stuff. Domesticated dogs alone have eyebrow muscles. That was an evolutionary thing, because the dogs throughout their generations were seeing, we spoke, and most of our speaking things is with our face.
Yeah.
Audibly it's with our mouth, but we speak with our face, we speak with expressions, and everything. And that's why the whole thing about masks during the pandemic was such a big problem. But before I instead of going down that rabbit hole, dogs evolved eyebrow muscles to manipulate humans. One more treat, as George Carlin, did. I learned that from George Carlin. It's pretty wild how we domesticated them and then they domesticated us.
Move on.
2021, 36 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: Foo Fighters, The Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Carole King, Todd Rundgren, Tina Turner, Kraftwerk, Gil Scott-Heron, Charlie Patton, LL Cool J, Billy Preston, Randy Rhoads, and Clarence Avant. Tina Turner, that's a little late.
I wonder if Ike ever got in there. Ike and Tina Turner, the originals.
Well, it doesn't say
I wonder
Ike.
if he got in there at one point. Probably not.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Is Ike Turner, hold on a second. Is Ike Turner in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
And they could have gotten in as Ike and Tina also.
Ike Turner also received Recording Academy Heroes Award. Turner was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Tina Turner in 1991.
So there's Ike and Tina, and then there's just Tina when she had her own individual career.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 2021 as well, Grand Ole Opry broadcast its 5,000th Saturday night radio program from
5,000
Nashville,
weeks.
Tennessee. Yeah. But in the Grand Ole Opry was actually that was the first one, radio.
Yeah. Of course, radio.
Yeah, well, no, there's another one. I forgot what it was, but we spoke about it. There is from another producing company or something, so not from the same people who made Grand Ole Opry, but Opry, but it was the inspiration for a TV version of that show.
Ah, okay.
So like the radio went to TV and everything, but as far recent as just 3 years ago, yeah. 2021 as well, world leaders agreed to historic corporate tax agreements of at least 15% at G20 summit in Rome. All right. 2022, Indonesian medical tragedy as 157 children had then died from kidney injuries that year due to contaminated medicines, according to authorities.
Yikes. Contaminated medicine.
Yeah.
Aye.
Indonesia does not have, an FDA or something like that.
Apparently not.
Not to validate the FDA, but some things do need to exist.
You need certain standards, and they need a way to uphold those standards.
Now the FDA has been completely hijacked, so we need something else.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah. Pedestrian suspension bridge in India collapsed into the river Makhu in Morbi town / city, Gujarat, killing 135 people. Jeez. Just
too many people on the bridge, I guess.
Yep. Well, once again, this was in India, so they don't really
Don't you have a clicker?
Yeah. 2022, we got that one. Several thousand black-clad fascist sympathizers marched to slain Italian dictator Benito Mussolini's crypt in Preda Pio, Italy, commemorating the 100th anniversary of his bloodless coup. So, very much like how Mussolini himself and his fascist group that he made literally marched onto their version of the Capitol, the White House or whatever, and took the nation. They were commemorating that. These 2022, just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
And today we have the bloodless democratic coup.
Well, it's not really that bloodless, So, 2023, and also the grandchild, the granddaughter of Benito Mussolini, still has the last name Mussolini. Is, as you watch this video, in Italian politics right now.
Yes.
What year is it? 2023, former basketball player Magic Johnson became the 4th billionaire athlete after Michael Jordan. Hold on a second, I have to say his name correctly. After Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods, according to Forbes. That's weird. Magic Johnson is the 4th. I would have thought he would have been the first.
No. He's made a lot of his wealth after basketball, obviously. I mean, he's an astute businessman as he was a basketball player.
And for whatever reason, AIDS can't kill him. So.
Well, he got it late enough where they had stuff that would save his life.
Yeah. 2023, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected calls for a ceasefire with Hamas, saying, quote, "This is a time for war," end quote, amid Israeli ground forces moving into the Gaza Strip. Whatever you want a student say to validate a genocide, go for it. 2023, U.S. President Joe Biden, not President, Brandon, signed the country's first AI executive order with directives for U.S. federal agencies' use of AI. That is very concerning.
Yeah, that's not something that I like to hear.
No. And last but not least, just last year, U.S. Union United Auto Workers reached potential agreement to end the 6-week strike following ones with Ford and Stellantis. All right. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any of the links that you may be interested in. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. Please check our sources for more. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, or at least try to stream every day, at 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions, reviews, gaming, videos, and memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between on Talk Show. Check the underbar. Today's Wednesday, right?
Correct.
So we might do a King's
29th.
Entertainment. Yeah, we might. No, it's the 30th.
Oh, today's the 30th. You're right.
Tomorrow's Halloween. So,
Ooh.
Yeah. So we might do a King's Entertainment meme review show tonight. We'll see. It probably will not be spooky, theme because, I haven't had time to get things in order. But anyway, check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I'm Mayo Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, viewer, are you. We also had King's Refuge in for most of the show here today.
Go King.
Yeah. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!